for CPI today. Don't forget to smash all the likes. We're going to cover off a big day. Are we going to get a pump? Are we going to get a pump and dump? Or are we just going to get a straight dump? We are seeing crypto markets, all coins, tumbling today. Absolutely tumbling here today. Bitcoin down 2%, but that's just the start of it because you got Ethereum down close to 4%. Solana down 7%. Likes of Phantom slipping 6% on the day today. Atom 6%. There's nowhere to hide today, guys. Near Protocol down 8%. We are out in the open, and the question is, will we be left hung to dry? We are 15 minutes away from the CPI reading. We will be putting it up here. I'm going to make you clear in the next 15 minutes or so exactly what we're expecting and what we can see in the market. So make sure you smash up the likes. A big day today to define not only where are we going to head in the next couple of weeks, but remember, the FOMC meeting, Jerome Powell's next meeting is on November the 2nd. That's just over 2 weeks away from now, and we need to understand, will he do a 75 basis point rate hike? 82% of the market is currently pricing in 75 basis points. Will this change after the CPI reading in the next 14 minutes, guys? 14 minutes. 70 of you in here, guys. Please do smash up the likes and support the channel. It helps the algorithm because sometimes people don't know that they need to be paying attention to CPI. Instead, they're just following these moon boys who say Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000, not understanding where this macroeconomy is heading, potentially into a global financial crisis. So lots going on here. No signs of a bull market just yet, and we need to take a look at what is going on in the chart. So let's take a look here at Bitcoin. I'm going to show you the Bitcoin chart, then I'm going to walk through the CPI expectations, so bear with me here. So you can see we broke down from this channel, okay? Now, obviously you saw that we were going to come down to 18,700. I mentioned this plenty of times. You've been following the channel. This 18,700 is the bottom of this channel. And now I'm getting worried of if this will hold. But here's the creepy thing. We're sitting at this level on CPI day. So all these other times we've managed to bounce from this level, maybe today could be the opposite, because if we miss on the CPI readings, you've got a catalyst to push you down through this level. And if we lose this level, where could we be heading to? The June lows at 17,600. Now, what are we seeing in the markets? I showed you that the NASDAQ, let's just look at this for a second. You got the SPY, okay, now down past the June lows, okay? June lows were here. You're below your June lows on the S&P. Same for NASDAQ. You're below your June lows, okay? Now the altcoins are doing the same. Altcoins are now falling below their June lows. The only thing which is really holding up is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still above its June lows of 17,600. And now the question is, will the CPI today be the thing which throws us over the edge? Let's see what we've got in the chat, guys. Don't forget to smash up the likes. Cathal, good to see you. Barney, good to see you. K-Dye, good to see you. Dan Mather. Vicky, hope you are well. Everybody, good luck out there indeed. Halim, good to see you. Tariq, good to see you again, buddy. Pele, good to see you. Good to see so many familiar faces in here and some new ones as well. Tariq, no signal. Muhammad, good to see you. Akash, Matthew, good to see you. You're one of our members. Yasmin, good to see you. Okay, so let's take a look. We need to understand, what are we expecting on CPI? The number's going to come out, right? And what it's going to look like is we're going to get a PDF like this, which is the release. And we'll walk through this. And as you can see last time, we got a month-on-month reading, which is your headline month-on-month reading here. And you can see that that went up 0.1. This was last month I'm showing you, so you can see the layout. Then what you'll get is this, which will show you your headline inflation and all items less food and energy. That's also called core inflation. Okay, so we need to monitor both of these. Now we want to see them come down. So if I show you it on this chart, you saw that inflation came down to 8.3 versus 8.5. But the market was expecting 8.1 in the last meeting, so it got upset, right? The market got upset. Now the market kept the expectation exactly there at 8.1. They didn't move the consensus. They said, okay, you didn't get 8.1 last time in August, just get it in September. So in other words, what that means is if we cannot get 8.1 this time, markets are going to be really upset. That's 1 month behind, and that would be a shock. So 8.2, 8.3, going to be horrible. If we see 7.9 and these figures good, we should see some green. Even at 8.1, I'm not too keen on seeing a big green. I don't think we're going to see a big green at 8.1. I think markets will be like, okay, good, but it's still high, right? They're going to want anything, I think, to see nice green in the market and a good solid bounce. We're going to need that 7.9, 7.8 level here on the headline inflation. Now, we also then need to look at core inflation. Now, core inflation telling you a different story, right? This is less food than energy. It's food and energy which is having the big tick down. We're seeing those costs come down, which is bringing inflation down. But remember, they're stripped out of core inflation. Now, core inflation last month was actually expected to go up. It was expected to go up to 6.5, and it went up to 6.3. So that was a slightly better situation there. But 6.1, but it went up to 6.3. So it went up too high, which is why markets were annoyed. Now what we're seeing is expectations of 6.5 today. So you're expecting a column up here at 6.5. Again, anything above that, markets will not tolerate it. It will not accept it. That's bad enough. The fact that it's going up to 6.5, which is going all the way back to your March inflation figure, which is showing no progress on core inflation, despite the numerous 75 basis point rate hikes. Okay, so the market has set really, really kind expectations here, and that is why if we get a miss, it's going to be horrible in my opinion, and we're already seeing that in the build up today. Okay, so but just 9 minutes away now. Please do make sure you smash up the like button. Anthony, good to see you, buddy. Holiday, good to see you. DJ, good to see you. Kieran, good to see you again. Martin, good to see you. Lots of familiar faces here. Edmund, nice to see you, buddy. It is Niall Bitey. I mean, we've covered a lot of these off on the channel together. Shout out if you've been watching the CPI live streams for a while. And it just feels like the next one just keeps coming. And now, this one's super critical because this is the one that's going to show if Jerome Powell has control or if he doesn't have control. He's really stuck right now. And on top of that, what makes this even more nail-biting is Bitcoin's at the final straw. This is not Bitcoin sitting up at 22,000 and if we dump down, we're down to 20. This is Bitcoin sitting at 18,700, right on a key level of support, which we've been holding ever since the June time, right? We've been covering this for months at this level, and it's always held for us. But I said, if we fall from this triangle, we go back down here, I'm worried we may not come back up pretty quickly. We will be going testing those lows. So I've got some limit orders there set. If we do get Bitcoin down at that 17,600 level, I will be buying. I'll even be buying at around that 18,000 level with smaller limit orders, but the bigger limit orders are around that 17,600. Because if we do wick there, maybe it will just be quick and then we start seeing some dip being bought. So I want to get some cheap, juicy Bitcoin at those levels, which is why I've got those limit orders set in. Let me know in the comments, what are you guys doing? How are you playing this? Obviously, I'm live streaming, so I'm not going to be doing any short-term trades. But back in the day, I used to love playing some small trades here as an active trader, scalping these little moments. But if you're doing that, check out the links in the description to Bybit or BitGet. If you want to trade any of these moves, you could do so. Don't forget, you've also got the Bybit token bundle, which is really cool. Completely no fees on there because they don't have any spot trading fees. But what it lets you do is I set the bundle coins I like in a mini portfolio, and you can just one click and throw cash in there, and you have that. You copy and paste that portfolio for you guys as well. So definitely check that out. Links in the description. Okay, cool. So what else do we want to monitor? A few other really important things we do want to look at, and that is the dollar index. It feels like we haven't spoken about this for a little bit, but you know it's my favorite thing. Dollar index is starting to get this little bit of a curling over, which is really good. But what we will see is if it's bad CPI, it's just going to do this and reaffirm what we're worried about. So what I'm sitting here is, let's switch over to the daily view, and you can see what's happening here. Huge big move to the upside, right? But let's get zoomed in a little bit here, and let's just take a look at what we're seeing in a little bit more detail. So what you're seeing is we had the bounce, but it's not gone higher than the previous peak. This is a good sign, right? If we can see this create a lower high and struggle, then what we're going to get is either a double top pattern, like an M pattern here, right? That's your M. And then we can break to the downside, or we can get a reverse Adam and Eve where this just curls over and struggles and then falls. Remember, we want to flip this EMA ribbon on the daily chart before we can see a decent move on Bitcoin. But remember, bad inflation is not going to help us do that. So the inflation reading is going to be critical, Guys, we are not smashing up the like button. Please do smash up the like button, guys. A lot of you are sat here. Please do smash up the likes. And if the stream deteriorates from here, you can undo the like button. Thankfully, it is reversible. Okay, we're seeing the GBP bounce back a little bit today, up 1.6%, which is good. It's keeping the Dixie down. Remember, if the GBP does better, the dollar index will be subdued. That's why we're seeing a red day on the dollar index. But again, that can change in the next 5 minutes when we get that CPI reading. Let's see if you guys have put anything in the comments in terms of how you're playing this move. Vicky, Ijaz, you're a legend. Your content is second to none. Oh, that's super kind. Thank you so much. Anthony, appreciate your content, especially on days like this. Appreciate you, Anthony, for being part of this community. Pele has been watching over a year now. Yes, you have been. You're a legend. Spencer, live stream. Yep, you've been around for a while. Brandon Chan, good to see you, buddy. Anthony, good to see you. Let's see how you guys are playing it. Kieran says, I'm stacking 50% BTC, 50% very low market caps with weekly buy-ins. Okay. Vicky said, I bought Near Protocol this morning at 280. Yes, Near Protocol has been getting absolutely hammered today. Nowhere to hide. But that's because Near Protocol has been doing all right, relatively, right? So things which have been holding up all right, when the market says, no, everything is going back below your June lows, then you've just got more catching up to do on the downside. So it's a bit of a difficult one. When the wider economy is down, this is not about Bitcoin. This is not about Phantom. This is not about Cardano. This is just a global financial crisis. And I think slowly the altcoin and the crypto community is starting to understand that. And this is not me being patronizing to the crypto community, but the traditional finance investors, they understand macroeconomics a lot better than us. We're a little bit later to the game, but we need to learn macroeconomics. We need to learn how CPI and these things the market. Yes, hopefully Bitcoin can decouple. We don't need to worry about that stuff. But whilst we're in this situation, macros do have an impact, which is why we're sitting here waiting for this CPI reading. Okay, let's see who else we got. Michael Rizzo, what do you think about earnings coming up? Another big catalyst. Very important that you've mentioned that, Michael. We do have earnings now starting to come out. We do have the likes of Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan. We saw PepsiCo beat earnings earlier. And this is going to be part of the issue because with the earnings, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you get bad earnings, markets are going to fall. If you get good earnings, people are like, oh, inflation's going to get worse. All these companies are doing really, really well. So it's really like a Goldilocks earnings. You want to see okay earnings, but it's more about listening to the earnings calls to see if companies still have issues with the supply side. Remember, Jerome Powell with interest rates can only control the demand side of inflation. He can control whether you or I as consumers buy. He cannot fix the supply chain issues over in China. He cannot fix the blockages and the issues with semiconductors. He can't do that. He can't fix the issue with the Russia-Ukraine wars causing prices to go up, right? He can only control the demand side. But we know this is inflation led through supply shock. And it's really important we understand the difference between them. Right, so what I've done is I've got this chart open up. So I've got a 5-minute Bitcoin chart on the left. Anybody who's been on my live streams before will be familiar. And on the right-hand side, we're going with the S&P on a 5-minute chart as well. So we can see how are things playing out in real time. So far, you can see the S&P's opened up in the green. You've seen Bitcoin is taking an absolute poo here. And we're just going to have to see what now happens over the next few minutes as we get the CPI reading. Bitcoin sitting at 18,700. Remember, if we lose that level, I'm looking at 17,600 if we get a horrible reading. If we get a good reading, great stuff. Let's bounce from this level. This is a level we've bounced from many times, and there's no reason we can't do so again if the data backs that up. But the data's got to back that up. 3 minutes away. We will be pulling this up shortly, guys. Please do smash up the likes. Still, over half of you have not smashed up the like, guys. Please do smash up the like. I promise you it doesn't cost you a penny, and you can undo it if you don't like it afterwards. Zach, same here, just got here. Did they release it yet? 3 minutes, Zach. 3 minutes. We will be pulling it up. You've not missed anything. Lefty, good to see you, buddy. You've not missed anything. I just set the expectations of what we need. Remember, 8.1 on headline, 6.5 on core. Keep those numbers in your head. 8.1 on headline, 6.5 on core. When it comes out, I'm going to look at the chart. I'm going to read the numbers. So this needs to be like 8.1 or less. And this number here needs to be 6.5 or less. Okay, so I will be pulling that up. Then we'll go through the detail. This is from last time's meeting. I will be refreshing here. And again, sometimes their website goes down, but we'll do our best to make sure we pull that up as soon as possible. Let me know what kind of, if any of you are trading this, let me know if you're trading it. Again, links in the description. If you haven't got yourself set up on a crypto exchange, Bybit and BitGet are the ones I use, guys. They're the best for trading. And even on my spot, I keep a bunch of spot on there as well in terms of portfolio allocations. Okay, let's keep this Bitcoin chart here. And let's put this on the hourly where we're sitting. Let's remove the EMA ribbon. And let's get ourselves ready for the CPI reading. Okay, we'll keep that there. Here, this 5 minute. I might change it across to the minute. We'll see how we're going. Maybe we'll see the minute. And look at that. S&P's climbing now. So let's start getting refreshed. Bitcoin is climbing as well. Let's see. We're still a minute away. Maybe they had an early leak or something. Let's refresh. Refreshing. Don't want to miss this. Still another minute to go, but just in case, sometimes they pop it up early. Robert, you are here on time. Literally a minute before. You do not mess around, Robert. All right, let's refresh. Let's see what we got. Come on, CPI. Who's nervous? Guys, tweet me your setup. If you guys are sat in front of your desk, what are you doing? Do you have trading charts open? What's your layout? I'm always interested to see how you guys have your layup set up. How do you guys trade? Do you just do it off a MacBook? Some of you do it on your phone. Let me know. I'm on Twitter at RealIjaz1. Okay, come on, September release. I'm refreshing early because I'm still another minute to go. Guys, are you nervous? Smash up the lights, guys. Please do smash up the lights. We're now 30 seconds away from pulling up the CPI reading. Are we going to get a hit or a miss? Are we going to get a pump or a dump? And we're going to switch straight over to the Bitcoin chart as soon as I've got this number for you. Remember, 8.1 and 6.5. 8.1 and 6.5 is what we're looking at. Come on, I'm refreshing like a madman for you guys. I want to make sure you guys get it early so you don't miss it. Come on, what do we have? What's your expectations? Okay, here we go. 8.2, September 8.2. Oh no, it's a miss. This is going to be bad, guys. And core is up 6.6. Okay, hi, this is going to be bad. Let's switch over to the charts. I'll pull up this PDF as well up here so we've got the full breakdown. Let's take a quick look here. Up 0.1. There you go. So you got 8 point... Let's just open that up. Pull this up. 8.2. There's the charts. Let's pull up the charts. How are we responding? There you go. There's your big dump, guys. Miss. Ouch. Missed on both, guys. Headline and core. That is not good. This is not good at all. And remember, the reason I'm saying it's not good is the expectations were so weak, guys. They carried over the expectation of 8.1 from the previous month. And now you're seeing Bitcoin tank. SPY is giving up all the gains from opening up early. And this is how traders play, right? Look, they opened up here, gapping up all the way up here, waiting to just dump on you guys. So completely dunked on. Bitcoin now tumbling 18,300. And again, if you know what you're looking for, these things become very, very evident. A lot of people ask me, how am I able to buy at such good levels? Because you can predict it through the macroeconomy. I was sitting there waiting for Bitcoin to come to 18,700. I said numerous times I'm waiting for 17,600. So now you might get the opportunity. My limits will trigger at 18,000, around there. By the way, I never put exactly 18,000 because they never hit. So always put it a little bit above, like 18,050, or put 1950. And you're more likely to execute, okay? So that's how you get your nibbles. Now, we're seeing a little bit of support coming in here on Bitcoin at 18,100. I will try to pull up the PDF. Sometimes it doesn't open properly. Let's take a look. Yeah, see? They always do this, where it's still the August one that opens up, even though they've changed the text here. So they've changed the text. We definitely got 8.2 on the headline versus 8.1, which is what we needed. And we got 6.6 on the core, which is versus 6.5. So again, it jumped up 0.1 too much there. This is not great. This is not good at all. Let's see if the HTML actually loads September's instead. And we can take a look at this instead. Yep, there you go. 8.2 on your thing. And all items less food and energy. 6.6 is confirmed. And this is not fun. This is not fun at all. Let's take a look. Okay, fine. So we haven't got the breakdown. When we get the breakdown later on, I will walk through to see which items are heavy. But right now, that's not too important. What is important, you are seeing the markets dump right now. So let me know, guys, how are you playing this? How did you play this? Did any of you get caught in this? And what does that mean? 8.2, just reading your comments. Pele absolutely nailed it. Smash the likes. Yes, more to accumulate. Guys, it was like the inflation is not under control right now, and things are getting worse. And this is the issue. Remember, this is September's reading, and now we're in October. But you've had OPEC reduce the number of barrels by 2 million barrels a day. Russia-Ukraine has got worse over the last couple of weeks. This is not good. Jerome Powell, is he going to come out with 100 basis points? I mean, this is truly getting into unprecedented territory. I mean, you've got Cathie Wood coming out, you've got Jamie Dimon coming out, you've got the UN coming out and saying, US, you cannot raise rates. But at the same time, Jerome Powell sitting there going, I've just done 375 basis point rate hikes in a row, which has not been done for many, many a year. And when he does so, inflation's just sitting there laughing in his face saying, we are not transitory. We are not going away. And inflation is here to stay. And you can't do anything because it's supply side. It's not demand side. So now, look how this has jumped up, guys. 87% of the market is now priced at 75 basis points. To be honest, this should be 90% plus now. That is a guarantee that we're going to get 75 basis points. I think it's, it's borderline like suicidal if he wants to go and pivot now. He can't pivot. Jerome Powell cannot pivot now, given what we've seen. I mean, the public will be onto him because inflation is out of control. Let's get a refresh here. They've put it on, and you've got your 8.2. So yes, inflation is coming down. It's not coming down enough. It's gone from 8.5, and in fact, the rate of change, the slope, right, the gradient here is not changing good enough, okay? And that's the issue here. Let's go back to the column because they've not updated the chart. Go for a refresh. Column. Okay, there you go. So the rate of change is not improving. It's kind of looking like it wants to steady off. And that's the scariest sign for a central banker, for Jerome Powell, is if you've got that sticky inflation. Now, if you go back to the Paul Volcker times, he brought inflation down quite quickly, but then he was happy for it to sit between 4 and 6 for quite a while. He let it do that. But Jerome Powell wants to bring this all the way down to 2%. He said that. I want to bring it down to 2%. So he's got a long way to go. And can he keep rate hiking all the way here? I mean, with this next rate hike at 75 base points, you're already sitting close to 4. He said the terminal rate's 4.5. Really, a lot of people are pricing in a terminal rate of 5 now. Maybe that's going to go up even further. So really messy situation right now. Let's take a look at what the market's. Okay, we're falling some more here on Bitcoin. We're going to go back down to test where the support came in. Let's pop this over to the minute chart to see a little bit more detail. So that was a little bit of buying the dip you saw. But it looks like we're going to have another leg down unless the bleeding can stop. I just don't see, the markets are not going to be happy here. I mean, this is horrible. Remember, S&P are already at well below the June lows, creating horrible lows. I mean, these are some of the worst days we've seen since 2020. Okay, seeing a little bit of dip buying here, a lot of traders playing around in this area, but ultimately we've got what we need to know, right? Which is that inflation is still there. It's still a problem, and anybody telling you that we're going to go back to the moon right now is wrong. We're in these low prices. We will likely see lower prices, and it's our time to accumulate. We need to be accumulating. We need to be navigating this market. That's what we need to be doing in this moment. Now's not the time to panic sell. Now's not the time to, wait to be going to the moon and chase green candles. We don't need to do that, right? We could be heading into a financial crisis because the central bankers are not in control of inflation. UK is in a mess. They're still printing money today, Thursday, Friday, tomorrow as well, buying government bonds whilst inflation is rocket high. And our inflation is worse than the US's. The US are not in control of inflation. They're just the best of a bad bunch right now, right? Can you imagine what the emerging economies will be going through? These countries will be knocking on the door of the IMF, asking for loans after loans and defaulting on their payments. This could be horrible. I've seen this in 2008. We saw numerous banks in trouble. We saw numerous countries in trouble. These are the warning signs in front of us, which we cannot ignore now. And don't want to be the bearer of bad news, guys. If you guys have been watching my content for over a year, you would have seen how excited and how bullish I was in the bull markets. I don't sit here like a bear all the time. I don't achieve anything from that, right? But when I see the data, even if we've been down for a whole year now, I've got to be realistic with you. I'm not going to come here and say, oh, Bitcoin's going to go to 69,000, load your bags up. No, unlikely. Unlikely right now. We're in a bear market, and we could be entering into recession, deep recession. I think we're already in a recession, right? Ian, relax, guys. You aren't going to have a recession. We're going to have a depression. Yeah, exactly, Ian. Biden comes out saying we're not going to enter a recession. But yeah, he's right, because we're entering a depression, like you said, Ian. Wacky, good to see you. You're saying not such a bad CPI data. I feel like I got in crypto at the most opportunistic time. Horrible macros, but great accumulation time. That's so right, Lefty. And if everyone's got that mindset, you're going to do well. Because if think about it, what's the alternative? The alternative is you come into a market and you start investing in crypto at a bull run. That's the worst time to enter, right? Entering in a bull run where you don't know and everybody's hyping you up. Bitcoin's going to go to 1 million. You're going to be left holding the bag. And that's how bull runs work. They need to bring in more naive people to sell to. Right? Whereas if you've got a long-term horizon, you manage to enter in a crypto winter and you're buying coins which you do not want to sell for multiple years, you're going to be fine, right? But the people who are telling you, oh, I'm making millions and millions of dollars trading, they're not. Please understand that. You're not. I love trading. My career was trading. I love trading. And I still trade now as a hobby. But true wealth is built for investing. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. Yes, you can use trading to then funnel the profits from your trading into your long-term investments. That's what's going to get you into true wealth, right? That's what's important. Right, let's see how you guys are feeling after this CPI reading. Things going to get worse by the end of this year, says One Big Pack. Omar says, wrecked, forget 2023. See you in 2024. I think that's an interesting mindset. I think 2023 could be rough, and I'm still going to be here. I'll be here with you guys through 2023, showing you how I'm navigating this market, because what I want to do is I want to document it. I don't just want to disappear, come back in the bull market and show you, oh guys, look at my profits. I'm going to show you guys. You're going to see day to day how I've navigated this bear market going into recession, depression. And I'm not scared. I was around in the financial crisis of 2008. I was young, but I was there and I saw it. And I saw people in Morgan Stanley, in various banks, JP Morgan, taking their cardboard box and leaving the building. Senior people, right? So we've been there. We've seen that. And yes, it's crypto's first time, but crypto will get through this. Vicky, this is when millionaires are made. It just takes patience. Edmund, so we should have stayed out of the market until the rate hike event in November. Vicky, BT support is holding well. Yeah, the support's holding here for now, to be honest. A lot of people bought that dip at 18,100. I'm not sure if my limit order triggered. I have to check after the live stream. It was around here somewhere, just above 18,000. And I've got a couple of more below 18,000. Yeah, all good. I mean, I don't need to chase any green candles. I'm not in a rush. Where's there to rush? Where's the rush? There is no train at the platform saying we're going to 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. So I'm not in a rush. Just chill. Just chill. Let it be. Go for a walk. Have your limit order set. Have your game plan written on paper. Judenbug, good to see you again, buddy. Lefty, is this considered the second recession BTC has been through? I guess technically, but I would say it's not been for a serious one, right? Like the 2008 was the last proper financial crisis, and Bitcoin was in its infancy. That's why I'm so excited about this narrative, because it was created in that mindset of a credit crunch, in the liquidity crisis, when banks were in trouble, when countries were in trouble, when Greece was in trouble, and talking to the IMF, and there was contagion around Europe. That is when Satoshi would have been doing his thing, right? But now you've got a Bitcoin which has been 14 years battle tested, used. You know, companies have it on their balance sheet. People are using it. Now it's a serious alternative to fiat currency. So now if we end up in that same mess where currencies are struggling, like we saw with the GBP, people like me have alternatives. I can go and invest in crypto. I can go buy Bitcoin. Other people can do the same here in the UK. And then if other currencies ends up an issue, they will have an option. That is why we're looking to see, will we get that decoupling? Will we actually see that play out? Or will Bitcoin just continue to be correlated with equity markets and have a red period throughout that financial crisis? That's what we need to see, right? Right, let's see if I can get this up again. They never, whenever I download this PC, they always do this. Like, of this, right? I can't. Okay, let's read it. Okay, so food index rose 0.8%, same as August. Food away from home, 0.9%. Food at home index up 13%. Let's see, energy. Energy index declined 2.1%, which we're expecting. And then you had your core. So medical care index rose 0.8. Motor vehicle continued to rise. What else did we have? New vehicle index increased 0.7. Household furnishings rose. Everything. Not letting up. Okay, so used cars and trucks fell slightly. Communication index fell slightly. Yeah, just horrible reading. Horrible reading. And now what we need to do is let's get zoomed out and look at where we're at. This is where we're at, guys. Okay? Now, I'm going to put it on the 4-hourly just so you can see, but pay attention to what we've got here. You've got this huge wick here. I know it's difficult to see. I'm just trying to fit everything on the screen here. See if this helps. All right, so you got this huge wick here, okay? And this is your June lows all the way down there, okay? That's your June lows. The question is, are we going to come down to there? It's not going to be easy, but right now you don't have much support. The support it's relying on is from here. So I'm going to zoom in here just to show you what is it trying to do. Let's just take a look here. You see this? You're seeing the support right from the bottom of the wedge, which is very normal from technical analysis. When you fall out of this wedge, the first point of support here, second point of support was here, right? Which tied in with our green line across here. Now your last point of call is this line. Once you lose this line, then in my opinion, it's a clear run to 17,600, right? The key is, do we bounce from here? If we can bounce from here, then good. Let's build our way back up to 18,700 and let's try to get back up and stabilize. But that's the only hope right now. Bring out the VPVR here on the 4-hourly, you can see volume is far less traded here. The bit where the support was around this level. We're well below the point of control, and things get a lot more difficult here. So we're going to need a lot of people to be buying the dip here. Red volume candles continue to be strong. We'll need to see, do they decline? If they decline here over the next couple of hours, then that shows that the bears are losing steam, and then the bulls can come in. So we need to see these candles obviously decline to the downside over the next set of 4-hourly candles. Also bring out the Bollinger Band as well. It's important to look at the Bollinger Band. And obviously, you've got complete breakage of your Bollinger Band here. Hourly, even on the daily, you're seeing us break the Bollinger Band now to the downside. Okay, so let's also take a look and see how altcoins are responding. Still in pain. Altcoins are still in pain, but they're not falling much more than they were because they're already getting a hammering beforehand. It's Bitcoin which is catching up now. The Bitcoin is obviously catching up. The rest all went below their June lows, which pretty much makes sense here on the day. Let's see how the dollar index responded to the news. And yeah, it shot up, right? Exactly how we said. So it was minus 0.5 before the reading, and now it's plus 0.5%. So we're getting a good bounce here on the dollar index, which is bad for crypto, remember? So this is now the test. Does the dollar index now, over the next day or two, go and break this high? If it breaks this high, all hell is going to break loose. It's going to be horrible. We want to see weakness from dollar index. We want this to create a double top, just start curling over. That's what we want to see. And if this goes and posts a new high, then things won't be great, because then it's going to keep its uptrend and do things like this. But please, do not get caught out. When it comes down like this to test its EMA ribbon, do not fall for that. Okay? Very, very important. Cool. Let's see how you guys are getting on in the chat. Hit the likes, everyone. Ijaz is on a mission to crush Moon Boys. We are. Please do smash up the like, guys. I'll really appreciate it if you guys can smash up the like. There's a bunch of you in here who have not proceeded to smash that like button, which is unfair, because I'm not Jerome Powell. I didn't do the rate hikes. I'm not in control of inflation. Digital D, appreciate your insights. Appreciate you, buddy. Vicky, are we in agreement that 17,600 is the bottom? Absolutely not. Thank you for the question. No. 17,600 is the June lows, but everything else has fallen below June lows. So it'd be silly for us to assume we're just going to stop at June lows. And in fact, the pattern I shared with you guys is this one. Okay, let me just remind you of the pattern I showed you. So I'm going to put this on the weekly chart. You can see where we're at. So we are forming this pattern here, which is a descending triangle, which was the exact same descending triangle we produced in the crypto winter back in 2018. But now what happened? Let's go back. Quick recap for you guys. What happened in this triangle here? Saw that we broke to the downside. And once we broke to the downside, not only did we create new lows, but we created the bottom here. Okay, a couple of weeks after falling out from here, call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. Okay, so a month and a half, created its bottom at 3,200. And then you went through a long process, right, of running up to 13,000 here, getting rejected back down, and then you finally had your bull run. Okay, so from this 3,000 mark in December 2018, then went to March 20. Okay, so follow this through. December 2018. All of 2019 was a write-off, right? Until then you get to March the following year and you start moving. So could we be in for the same? A lot of people saying 2023 could be a write-off, right? It could be the same thing. Where we create our bottom now or in the next few months, and then we just have a year of doing this, trying to run up. Because remember, it still went up to 13,000. Loads of profits were to be had here. Everybody thought this was the next bull run, and then you went to come down. Now, why is this level important? I want to remind you, why is this? So when we ran up this time, create our bottom, we ran up, we got rejected by 13,800. Now, why is that important? Let's come to the present. What we'll see, we're forming the exact same triangle. What's the technical move of the triangle? It brings you down to around 12,700. But there's also that horizontal support, right? So it ties in with that horizontal support around that 13,800. So for me, if we lose 17,600, then I start to worry. Then I start to say, okay, could we be seeing that $14,000 Bitcoin, and then things could get cheaper? Now, when I say worry, I don't mean worry in terms of, oh no, I'm going to panic sell. I've already stress tested my brain. I know if Bitcoin goes to 10,000, I'm not selling. I'm not bothered, right? I'm going to take it as an opportunity to accumulate more. But if you're not in that position, which is perfectly fine, you have a different level of conviction. You need to ask yourself, what am I doing? Because if you're sat here at 18,000, you're going to panic sell at 10,000 or 12,000 or 13,000. Why would you not panic sell now? That's the reality of things, right? If you know you're going to panic sell, if you can play out the movie in your head to say, you wake up one morning, you open your phone, your portfolio is down, Bitcoin's at 10,000. Do you buy the dip, panic, or do you hold? The answer is panic sell. Then you need to ask yourself, why do I not panic sell now? Go beyond my conviction and then come in at a later point. Cool. There you have it, guys. Horrible, horrible disaster CPI reading. I will be doing a summary. If you guys want to watch the whole thing and you've just joined, rewind back and you can watch through the whole thing. I will be doing a 10-minute or so summary later on with my thoughts on what happens next. Thank you for joining the live stream, guys. Appreciate it. Don't forget to smash up the like button on the way out. Share this on your social medias and get more people to understand in crypto that CPI and macros really do matter, and we need to be monitoring these things. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.